But then, speaking of social media, going off on the Black Mirror episode that we watched with the whole likes situation,
Likes, views,
like how
the
people
interactions.
view you,
Yeah,
like how, like imagine the world was actually like that.
based off like how many likes you got. Like people aren't even looking at like your personality or anything. They're just like saying like, "Oh, this is a cool picture. Let me like it." But they don't really know like what's going on
Yeah,
like behind that.
like in that video, just the fact that like it's like very superficial judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh yeah, like you smiled at me, like let me give you like likes.
Mm-hmm. Or be like, oh, like
What?
she didn't like me back, so I shouldn't like her, or
Yeah.
like I should give her a bad like score.
Like, what if you're just having a bad day?
Exactly. So it's like in that Black Mirror episode, she was having a rough
Very bad day.
and like one after another, like people just kept giving her bad ratings, and because of that, like it made her life even harder.
She's like losing
Mhm.
her like popularity, I guess. And
But then you see that old lady that gave her a ride, and I don't know, she wasn't even that old, but I mean, like still, like you see, there are those people that are just superficial and looking for likes or like caring about what others think. So it's like you have to find that balance of like just being able to like be yourself.
but like the one thing in that episode was that the likes determined what you could and couldn't do.
Mhm.
Like she couldn't rent that car because she had a low score. Like imagine that's actually how things worked in society. Like you can't get this certain item because you don't have enough stars.
Imagine like how fake everyone has to be in order
Yeah.
to like interact and like have these like luxuries. Almost like, wow, I need a car, so I'm gonna like kiss up to everyone and be like, oh my
Or
god,
like
you're amazing.
Or it could be that you stick with only your little group of people because
Mhm.
they enhance your score. Like, what about the millions of other people out
You
there?
need
like,
people like breaking you down a little bit or like having a different opinion from you. Like if you have people just like,
building you up all the time.
you're not gonna know what it's like to come down a little bit and then be able to rise up from that.
Yeah, like just having constant like building up isn't going to do anything. But if society worked that way, that's what everyone would do. Like you would only try to find those people that build you up and make you look better with other people to
Of
be able
course,
to get
like,
what you want.
Positive feedback is always like a confidence booster, but
Mhm.
then like you do
Mhm.
have to have like people that you're surrounded by. Like those people have to like tell you the truth and be like,
Constructive criticism.
Yeah, exactly. So like just getting likes,
It's
just to
normal.
get
I
likes.
feel like it's a normal thing that people should like have to go through. Otherwise, like what kind of
And then like again likes and like getting how many likes on your Instagram post or like how many views you get on your like Snapchat video or something. It's like people really eat that up. Like
they take that to heart.
So it's like, oh my god, like my friend got like 102 likes and I only got 50. Like, what am I doing wrong? Or like, don't people like me or something like
Yeah.
that? But it's like,
Oh my god, so and so didn't like my picture.
Mhm.
Like, what will I do now? Like,
or there's like those tips and tricks, like what filters to use to
Oh,
get more
yeah.
likes, or like what time of day to post, or like
apparently, if
the
you
better
make
the
your picture
caption.
red, if you make your picture a little bit reddish, apparently something about that like makes it like more appealing.
Exactly.
Like,
So like,
who comes up with that?
It's not like what I want, but it's like what do
society
people want to
yeah.
see in order to like me more? Like what caption is going to be the best? Like what's going to be the most witty one? Or like do I even post a caption with it?
Like if society is turning into that way, I don't know like what's
Mhm.
going to happen.
Like then you're basically, instead of like going out to show everybody you're going out to like appeal to everyone else in society, and
Yeah, you
that's
won't
not
be
really
being
what.
yourself.
Yeah. So
Like,
then
work
that's
out
where
like
the
facade.
whole Finsta Rinsta comes into play.
Mhm.
Like your Rinsta is really your real life, but then your Finsta. Wait, no.
No, your Finsta is really your real
Yeah,
life,
exactly.
but your Rinsta is just being fake.
Rinsta
Because
is your
society
regular
wants that.
Instagram. Finsta is your fake one. So yeah.
Yeah, like if society is turning into just having likes to be able to get places.
The
like,
fact
that's
that you
just
had to
bad
come to the
quality
point,
living.
like, yeah, we both do have our Rinstas and Finstas,
Yeah.
but the fact that like it's come to that where you have to have a fake Instagram in order to be able to show your true self really shows like
be confident enough to show like your
like
ugly
you are
faces,
confident,
your
but like
stupidity.
then it goes back to like making it private to whoever you want to actually see, like those people close to you, and it's like being comfortable with that. But then at the same time, it's like,
why aren't you comfortable
enough to
with having the other one like that?
Like, why can't you just have these like 20 likes from your Finsta post on your like actual Instagram? Like, who cares? But then it's at the same time like you have this divide between fake and what's real.
Yeah, so I definitely feel in that situation like social media is getting to like take over.
It's consuming
our lives. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that could be a very serious problem. Okay, so change of scenery. So in this segment, we're going to talk about how to read people when we have to maybe pitch ideas or something in the future. So Professor was talking about how when he was pitching his idea, like he had to be careful of what he said, so he didn't like give too much information, and I think that's really important.
Like you want to be able to like read people, not just like when it comes to business, but like how like whether or not to like trust people, whether or not to like tell people like certain information. So like in his case, it was like, how much do I tell this person that is trying to hire me without giving them too much to like keep them interested, but also so they don't steal all my ideas, because there's always people out there that can do it for like do your job for you. They just need the ideas for it.
Exactly.
So his like idea was like, how much should I be telling them? Yeah, so like you have to be able to read like the person that you're talking to see how much like you can trust them. Like, do I trust them by telling them this much? Like, do they have that faith in me that I can do this job better than like someone else?
Yeah, and he was saying that like if you just give everybody the ideas and they can just like toss you to the side and find someone who will do exactly what you said for like less, and so like there will always
a better name, like, you know.
Yeah, and so there will always be people that try to like take your ideas, I feel, and then like use it. So like you said, we have to like know how to be able to read people and make sure they're not just like tricking us into using all our ideas.
Like another thing is like not just like for business purposes, it's just like being able to read people to see like, do you think like they'll like just like stab your back basically? Like, are they gonna like, can you trust them enough to like make sure they can hold like whatever information that you give them, or that I don't know, like what else? I was like on a track.
I feel like that happens with like just people you meet on a day-to-day basis also. Like it doesn't have to be so like formal and official as like in the workplace.
Like, should I be able to like, you know, approach them, or like if you need to like ask for help or something?
Yeah. Like, and like if you have some important information, like is like your friend or your family member, are they trustworthy? Like, or is this person that you're seeing at this new like office party or like this new event, like are they worth like, or are they like trustworthy enough? Or this new friend you're making.
Yeah, like besides trust too, it's like being able to read like someone's emotions. Like, is this person happy? Like, are they in the mood to be talking? Or are they not even gonna pay attention to you? Like, is their mind on something else? You have to be able to read that too. Like, are they lying to you, or I don't know, just people skills. It's basically people skills that we have to know in order to really move forward with like business, not even business, just like daily life.
Just daily life, exactly.
Daily interactions.
Yeah, that's true. So like, I think just being able to read people is a big thing, just in life in general. Yeah.
Oh, and then so if like we go on to like another topic on that is like in the movie Ex Machina, like the girl was able to read like social cue, like the not girl, but like the robot was able to read social cues, and that's why she knew like if you were lying or not. And that's the thing, like how, like what do you need to know, and like how much, like to an extent will like robots go, like and be like lie detector tests and all that kind of stuff. So it's like that robot really showed like you can't, like you're basically see through, and like they know everything that's going on.
So if like a robot can do it, we should be able to do it too.
Yeah, if we can, like, people are more likely to be able to detect like emotion and empathy and all that kind of stuff. So if they can like produce a robot that can do that, then we're definitely able to learn how to do something like that, because that's kind of like instinct almost. Like you have that gut feeling too, like when you know something's not right.
And I mean, I guess that brings it back to the whole AI thing, like how you can how like eventually you need to bring like the emotion aspect into AI, and how that would be important too.
Make it more believable.
Mm-hmm.
To like, how are you supposed to talk to like if you want like a robot, like someone to talk to, like you're not gonna be interested, or you're not gonna feel like you're actually being like heard if like there's no emotion. If it's monotone, it's like they're not really interested. Like why? What's the point of even talking?
Yeah, so I think this can be a little topic about how to improve AI. So like this emotion and like being able to read social cues, just like in that movie, things like that. I feel like that could definitely be like useful when people research AI and see how to make it better.
And that definitely plays like a role in like school life too. It's like you want to be like an interactive person. Like you don't want to just be someone that sits like yes, you like school life. It's like all about like you need to get good grades like in order to like better your future. But like the things that they don't teach you in class are those social cues. It's like being able to interact with people, going on those interviews or the job fairs, or joining clubs, or even just talking to someone like the dining hall or like any. Oh, it's like those social cues you have to learn on your own. It's like it's a learning experience. Like it's a learning curve.
Yeah. So like I guess another little topic could be like, what do you think holds people back from like being able to advance in their social cue, like learning how to like socially express themselves, or like figure out how to read people? What do you think like holds them back?
I feel like nowadays there's a lot of anxiety between like people. Like people are so much on their phone and behind a screen that they don't like know how to like act in person, or like they acted like a different way they do in person as they would online. So it's like when it comes to that face to face interaction, they have this anxiety and they just don't know what to do, and it's kind of like you're frozen there, or like you don't like even want to try and like go talk to people, or like you just I don't know blanketed over like this whole like media screen and all that.
Yeah, and I also think like aside from like technology and like people's own faults, like I always felt like bullying was a big thing. Like how that's there's so many different ways to like bully people now, so it's like everywhere. So like I feel like that's a big situation of that holds people back from being able to express themselves in person. Like they gain a lot of like you said, they gain a lot of confidence behind a screen because they're so afraid in person. I feel like that's big too.
And then, like going on to your bullying thing, it like goes into social media, like how much like influence that the social media like social media is like how to be perfect, and like media has like how you want to be like celebrities and all that. That goes into like people not wanting to express their true selves, because
they think they're not enough.
Yeah, they're not enough, and then that's where they're kind of like hesitant on like coming out almost.
So like the unrealistic standards that maybe celebrities like impose upon like the regular people, like common folk, like it makes it difficult for a person to be themselves also. Yeah,
except like the weird thing is like we all know it's like those impossible standards, but yet we still
follow them.
Yeah, we feel like we follow them, and we're just inclined to do so, even though we know like, oh, like I don't need to do that, or like that's just dumb. But then like that's like that kind of thought is in the back of our minds, but really like we're like striving towards that, and almost.
Yeah. This segment is going to be about genetic engineering, and like the pros and cons of genetic engineering. So first, like genetic engineering, like to be specific, is like the CRISPR technology, right?
It's taking genes that you find undesirable and taking them out, or almost just editing them and changing them to like whatever best suits you.
Yeah. So like I think a definite pro, like it's a pretty obvious, it would be that you can get rid of like terminal illnesses and like things like that make life harder for not I don't like to say harder, because people like with these illnesses like learn to live with it, but I mean like you said, I guess undesirable traits.
Yeah. It's definitely helped like ease people's minds, like knowing that like they can have like a simpler life, like maybe like even if like people learn to live with these illnesses and they don't see it as like a problem anymore, but like in the end of the day, it is like simpler. Like if you didn't have that, then there would be a lot more like freedom without that like type of situation that you're in. So it's definitely helpful to just take it out if you had the opportunity to.
Yeah, I feel like also like more specifically like like cancer causing genes, you could take that out. Um
Because, like, imagine this, like, you either pay, like, that much money now to get it taken out and knowing, like, your child won't have to live with that,
mhm.
or they're going to have to live with that illness and
Pay the bills of
the
treatment.
bills, the heartache, like, the time,
Mhm.
all that. So it's like, you have to weigh your options there.
Yeah, so like, I think that's definitely a benefit, like being able to like um edit like diseases that you don't want. What's another pro?
Um, as much as, like, conceited as this sounds, like, it's like, you get to pick, like, who you'd want to be almost. It's like,
Yeah.
could pick the perfect you, even though, like, a lot of people, like, again, media influence is gonna, like, pick that one person, or, like, it doesn't have to be, like, media influence for everyone, but it's like certain areas, like, this is the perfect, like, standards, and, like, in another country it might be something different. So it's like, it's not like it's all gonna be the same, but there's gonna be that standard of, oh, this is how I want to be.
Yeah, like you could choose your hairstyle, like hair color, like hair, like the type of hair, your eye color, like things
How
like that.
smart you are,
How smart
athletic.
you are, how athletic. I could use some athletic genes. Like I could use it. Imagine like
Like, after these finals, like, I could definitely use a few more brain
a
cells,
few
like,
more brain, yeah. So
but
greater
at the end
IQ.
of the day, it's like how I utilize my ability to do
That
things, and
is
that
true.
I kind of have to, like, learn to live with that, though.
Mhm.
Like, I can do to change it other than better myself.
Yeah. I mean like if I could choose for my son or daughter to have a greater like intelligence, oh, so be it. Like if it was easy like that, I mean, why not?
And it comes down to, like, if that is like, if that's the option, like, how much competition is there going to be? Like,
That's
who
true.
is the smartest? Like, how can you determine what is smart? Like, besides an IQ, like, or test or whatever, like that. It's like, you're just gonna keep setting the bar higher and higher, but there must be, like, some limit out there, like some capacity to where our brains just can't take that anymore.
Yeah, so then I think that's where the cons like come in, and I guess that would be like everyone will try to be the same basically, because
Mm-hmm.
not. I mean, like I feel like in general, like our standards are all very similar.
Be smart. Everyone wants to be healthy. They want to
They
be
want to
able to
look good.
look good,
Yeah,
like, be able to, like, form relationships with people.
yeah, like they want like a lot of the same things. Like yeah, maybe on different levels, but like people still want like the
Mm-hmm.
intelligence, the looks, the every like things like that. Like they're still gonna go for like the same things, so it's gonna make everyone the same. I feel.
But then at the same time, it's like, this is going to be money, so really you're limiting the people who already are higher up and have
Exactly.
power to change, like, plastic surgery, or, like, extra classes, like, spending more to, like, tutor your children more. That's, like, people that already have the money to spend it. So those are the kind of people that are going to be able to use their money,
To
and
get the genetic engineering done.
so then there's going to be even a bigger gap than there already is.
Yeah, I remember last semester for SSO, like my project was a genetic engineering thing, like my group's thing, and we did a lot of when we did the research, like it was nice and all that you could take out the diseases that you don't want, like unfavorable characteristics, but at the same time, like it caused a lot of like of a big gap between like the higher and lower and middle class. Like it caused like a bigger gap. It also was like we don't know if it's safe yet.
Yeah, because it's like, if you go back to, like, bio and stuff, all about, like, natural selection, like, how people are, like, best suited, like, whoever's, like, the most fit will be the one to, like, reproduce and all that.
Mhm.
But doing this, you don't know the outcome, because we haven't done any type of genetic engineering on humans before. So, like, you don't know what's gonna happen, like, a few generations later. Like, how is that gonna turn out? Or, like, say, like, there are things, like, I don't know if there's, like, articles, like, if we take out a certain gene, like, say I, like, take out the gene, or, like, put in a gene to be more athletic, like, what if like, that gene that you had before coincides with, like,
Something else
yeah,
and
so it's like,
alters that too.
exactly,
That was
so
another thing.
you might change something, but then, like, another thing, like, could be affected as well. So it's like being athletic, and then, like, you have to take away your ability to, I don't know, like, walk. That's
Yeah.
probably.
I feel like it's like kind of like taking medicines. Like, you know how like some medicines have side effects, so when you have to like take other medicines for those side effects, which will also have side effects, or take other, like it's just like I feel like it's just like a chain
Or
reaction.
take your chances on that, but at the same time, like, how far of an extent are you willing to go in order to do all this to just make yourself, your life
Better,
a little,
you know, like better, quote unquote.
Like, everyone can have a good life if they really have that mindset and mentality to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that everyone is put in different positions. Like, there's some people that are as fortunate or as others, but like, it's how your outlook is on life. So it's a little bit different.
And
maybe people just don't want to change it.
yeah, and when you were saying like the whole like natural selection thing, I just remembered like over time, like things like people have like certain types of people are passed away, or like certain like I would say more bacteria, like with environmental changes, like bacteria have died because they don't survive the environmental changes. So I feel like humans could do that too, like certain
And,
humans
like,
will be able to survive
like diseases or sickness, like if they can't hold on, like if they can't combat it, then that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, like what if you change a person's genes to not be able to survive against a certain disease or a certain illness, and then what if like a large group of people have that same like change in their genes? Now you're wiping out like a whole population of people.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be a serious problem. Like, and we don't know yet because we haven't done the research. So.
And then there's also like if the topic of like genetic engineering and like ethics based on like religion. There are people that believe like either the afterlife or like your next life, or like just why would you want to alter like the life that you were given already?
Mm-hmm.
Like the next like life, like how is it gonna be, like how's it gonna affect that, or like this is what God gave you as your life, are you really gonna want to change what he gave you?
Yeah,
and,
I was just gonna say, like even just like getting a piercing or a tattoo, people say like, oh, your body's a temple, like God made you that way, like why would you want to change it?
Exactly. So like he's like, as for like some people, like your God has like set this path for you that he thinks is what you should take, but like if you're changing it, or if you're changing your child's path, then like is it really in the sense ethical?
Yeah,
if you're based on religion.
Exactly, that's true. Like I definitely feel like people would say, like even like with religion they have a problem with like abortion. So like now you're completely changing the human being that your God made. So like what is that? Is that also like sin or whatever? Like is that like how is that going to be seen in the community, you know?
Like the idea of death too. Like people are supposed to die sooner or later. Like death is like, what's it called? Like
it's natural.
It's a natural thing and it's celebrated, but like why are like some people trying to extend it for so long? Like you need to live for this long. Like you just live your life to the fullest as much as you can, and do what you need to, but extending it more isn't going to make it better. It's just going to make you stay on this earth longer. So that's like for the people that celebrate death, or like idolize the idea that like it's okay to die and it's natural.
Yeah, like and I mean like it's not to say that like people should just do whatever they want, like and oh like I'm gonna eat like all kinds of junk food because you know I'm supposed to die eventually. No, it's not like that. It's more like you live the life that like a healthy life, like a meaningful life, but then like you don't do anything to like purposely like be like, oh no, I want to live to like this certain age. Like I feel like that's just too much.
Like my life isn't perfect enough. Like
let me fix it
where it's like, oh, I feel like I can better myself, like study harder, like work harder at something. But it's not like, oh, I need to pay money so I can like get up higher in life. Like that's not how it works.
Yeah, I feel like that is like pushing it. Like that's pushing the bettering yourself. Okay. Thanks for watching our video. We hope you enjoyed.
Oh, we're doing that now?
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know what to say.
Bye.